So, when you hear the term artificial intelligence, what pops into your head? Is it conscious robots, super smart computers from the movies? Well, what if I told you the AI that's actually changing our world right now is something completely different? Let's get into it. You've probably seen a car just like this one, right? A total marvel of modern tech, just navigating busy streets all by itself. I mean, it's a perfect example of AI in action, making tons of decisions every single second. But there's a little more to the story.
And that really brings us to the big question. This tech is everywhere, but do we really get the nature of its intelligence? Is it thinking the way you and I do, or is it something else?
To figure that out, we've got to cut through all the hype. It's time to meet the kind of AI that's actually here, right now, working away behind the scenes in our daily lives. Okay, so this is it. The vast majority of AI systems out there are what we call weak AI, or maybe more accurately, narrow AI. And the key word here is narrow. These systems are incredible specialists, but they're not generalists. They're designed and trained for one specific job, and that's it. You know, to really get a handle on what narrow AI is, it actually helps to look at what it isn't. That AI from science fiction, the kind that can think and reason about pretty much anything, that's what we call strong AI. And it comes in a few different flavors.
First up, you've got artificial general intelligence, or AGI. Now, this is the big one. It's the idea of a machine that could learn and solve any intellectual problem a human can. It wouldn't just be a master at chess, it could also write you a poem or, I don't know, figure out your taxes.
Okay, now let's crank that up a notch. That's where you get artificial superintelligence, or ASI. This isn't just about matching what a human can do. We're talking about an intellect that is vastly superior to ours in basically every field, from scientific discovery to social skills. And finally, we get to the really deep, really debated concept, artificial consciousness. We're not just talking about being smart anymore. We're talking about a machine that is self-aware, one that has a mind, feelings, actual subjective experiences. So here's the bottom line. Weak or narrow AI is a master of one single thing. Strong AI, in all its different forms, would be a master of, well, everything. Every single piece of AI we have today, from that self-driving car to your phone's digital assistant, it all sits right there in that first category.
All right, let's pull this out of the theoretical and into your real life. Because this narrow kind of intelligence is already so deeply woven into our world, often in ways we don't even think about. Ever typed out a message and your phone just fixes a typo for you? Yep, that's narrow AI. It has one single job: predict the words you meant to type. It's not writing a novel, it's just changing THE to the. Simple, but effective. Or what about when you talk to Siri or Alexa, the tech that takes your voice and turns it into text on a screen? Another perfect example. Its entire universe is just sound waves and the letters they match up with.
But don't get me wrong, narrow AI can be unbelievably powerful. A recommendation engine like TikTok's famous For You page is an absolute master at its one job: figuring out exactly what videos will keep you glued to your screen. And here's the really wild part. The efficiency is just staggering. Some research suggests the algorithm can get a scarily accurate profile of your interests and what you like in less than an hour of you just scrolling. That's the power of a focused, narrow intelligence.
But look, don't let the name weak AI fool you. Just because its focus is narrow, that doesn't mean its impact is small. In fact, its limitations are exactly what can make it so dangerous. So the core problem with these systems is something called brittleness. See, because they're trained on very specific data for one narrow task, they can totally fail, sometimes in huge, catastrophic ways, when they run into something new, something they weren't trained for. They just can't adapt or apply common sense.
And we're not talking about small mistakes here. The consequences of these failures could be absolutely massive. Think about major disruptions to the electric grid, or even damage to a nuclear power plant. It could cause global economic problems, or in more personal cases, lead to autonomous vehicles going haywire or even deadly, incorrect medical diagnoses.
And hey, these risks aren't just some far-off what-if scenario. These systems have already been caught up in some very real, very serious social harms, from biased algorithms leading to unfair prison sentences to discriminating against totally qualified people in the hiring process.
All of this, the incredible power, how it's everywhere, and the serious risks, it all funnels into one of the biggest philosophical questions of our time, the great debate about machine intelligence itself.
So on one side, you've got thinkers like the philosopher John Searle. He argues that our classic test for an intelligent machine, the Turing test, where a machine tries to trick a person into thinking it's human, is just not the right tool for the job. He says that just being good at mimicking a conversation doesn't prove a machine has a real mind or is actually conscious.
But then on the other side, you have scholars like Antonio Lieto, who come at it from a different angle. He suggests that we should see these AI models less as attempts to create a conscious being and more as powerful tools to help us simulate and understand our own minds. The goal isn't to replicate a mind, but to model it.
Which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. We call the AI we have today weak or narrow. But think about it. It can already reshape our society, create risks we've never faced before, and push the boundaries of what we thought was even possible. If this is what weak can do, it really makes you wonder, what does it truly mean for intelligence, artificial or not, to be strong?